Everyone in my life is sympathetic to my wife's infidelity and think I should forgive her. During my cancer treatment, I've been too sick and stressed to engage in intimate activities with my spouse. Consequently, my wife decided to seek physical intimacy elsewhere. Upon discovering this, I confided in my parents, who suggested that my wife's actions were understandable given that I wasn't fulfilling my marital duties, and that I should cut her some slack since she has been providing emotional and financial support to me during this challenging time. Most of my friends and family members share this opinion, and I feel betrayed and angry by their lack of support. I am particularly hurt by my wife's callous decision to hurt me while I am at my most vulnerable. Unfortunately, I cannot leave the situation due to my ongoing treatment, and I fear being dependent on someone who has hurt me so deeply. Redditor's reactions. Redditor 1. She made a deliberate decision to cheat on you. Your family and friends may have their opinions, but they cannot fully understand what you're going through. Personally, I cannot imagine doing this to my husband. While I understand that everyone has needs, your husband's priority should be to honor his vows and support you during this difficult time. If he is willing to cheat while you are sick, he could do so when you're healthy. There is no justification for infidelity. Reddit follow-up. Deliberate decision to cheat. Perfectly said. Cheating is unacceptable.
Op, I am sending you virtual hugs. I am sorry that you are experiencing this. Please take care of yourself.
Reddit 2. I am a woman, and my husband was recently diagnosed with cancer. We are preparing for a tough road ahead, and our relationship has already been strained. However, I could never fathom cheating on him, regardless of our physical intimacy. Infidelity is never an excuse. You deserve much better. Reddit follow-up. I am sorry to hear about your husband's diagnosis. My thoughts and prayers are with you both. You are strong for supporting him during this trying time. Update. I decided to try and reconcile. She cheated almost immediately while I was in hospital. One of the things I've learned during my cancer battle is that a significant number of women will cheat on their sick partners. Although I was too ill to engage in S-time, my wife couldn't manage her urges and ended up cheating on me. When I found out, I was pressured into staying with her. Many people in my life thought her actions were understandable because I couldn't fulfill my duties as a husband. Plus, I needed her health insurance to finance my cancer treatment, so leaving her wasn't a feasible option unless I wanted to resort to crowdfunding, thanks to the American healthcare system. We separated for a while, but we're considering reconciliation. About a week ago, I agreed to try again, on the condition that she uses a sex toy instead of cheat. However, while I was hospitalized for some tests, she invited a man over. I came back home earlier than anticipated and caught them in the act. She didn't realize that I was married and only found out when she saw me. She admitted to cheating on me, stating that my inability to satisfy her sexually was the reason behind it. Even though she apologized, she still tried to justify her action. I've come to the realization that it's over between us. We'll remain married so that I can continue receiving treatment, but she'll have to move out. Deep down, I knew that she would cheat on me again. I just didn't want to accept it. Redditor's reactions. Update after. Redditor 1. Mine cheated on me too. I have stage 4 cancer. It's really disappointing to see your partner behave this way when you need their support the most. But I've moved on and I'm in a better place now while he's struggling. It's ironic that his car broke down and he's still paying for it for another 6 years. And the women he cheated on me with have left him. I also inherited a large sum of money and some assets, so he's the one who's suffering now. Karma has a way of getting back at people, and I'm sure your ex will face the consequences of his actions too. Redditor follow-up. Make sure you update your will and designate someone else as the beneficiary of your life insurance policies. Sometimes you can create your own karma. Redditor 2. My mother's oncologist once told my father that he was a good man for not leaving her when she was diagnosed with cancer. It's sad that not being a terrible person is considered an exception, but it shows how low some people can be. It sounds like your husband was one of those people. I'm sorry you're going through this. You deserve better. Redditor 3. Many people in my life believed his infidelity was understandable because of my inability to perform my wifely duties. This is utter nonsense. Anyone who values loyalty and faithfulness knows that infidelity is never justifiable. You were in a vulnerable position fighting cancer, and your marriage vows clearly stated in sickness and in health. There was no excuse for your husband's behavior. Many men in his position would prioritize their partner's well-being over their own needs. I'm sorry that you had to go through this, but you made the right decision to focus on your health. I hope you get better soon, and we're here for you if you need to vent or update us on your progress. You deserve so much better, and I wish you all the best. Redditor follow-up. It's ridiculous that some people still think that a wife's duties only revolve around sex. We live in a messed up world. You deserve a better life than this. Update. As it turns out, I will not be surviving infidelity. My wife cheated on me about a year ago because I was too unwell to have socks due to my cancer treatment. I tried to work things out with her, but she cheated again almost immediately. Before the affair, my treatment was going quite well, and my prognosis was optimistic. But after that, my cancer started to spread more aggressively. Recently, I received the devastating news that further treatment would only prolong my life, not save it. My cancer is terminal, and I have decided to stop treatment and focus on end-of-life care. I believe my wife's infidelity played a part in my decline. Throughout my cancer journey, I've been advised to keep my stress levels low and stay as positive as possible. The mind is a powerful thing, and sometimes our willpower can affect the effectiveness of the treatment. I think that when my wife cheated, it not only broke my heart, but it also weakened my will to live just enough to make a difference in giving the cancer the upper hand. I will never know for sure, but I'm convinced that if she hadn't cheated, I wouldn't be in this terminal state. Note, no religious or spiritual support, please. Redditor's reactions, story 2, after. Redditor 1, I'm really sorry you're going through this op. It's astonishing how cruel some people can be. I hope you find peace as you undergo treatments. Do you have a supportive network of people who check in on you and stand by you during these two devastating experiences? Op answer, unfortunately, not really. Most of my family and friends have damaged their relationships with me by pressuring me to forgive my wife and excusing her infidelity. Redditor 2, I'm sorry to hear that. I lost my grandpa to cancer. You should tell her exactly how you feel and let her carry the weight of her actions. Cheating is always wrong. My thoughts and prayers are with you. Don't lose hope. Keep holding on. Redditor 3, I am deeply sorry, Op. My heart aches for you, and I wish I could support you more than just virtually. This destroys my faith in humanity. I want to give your wife and family a piece of my mind. You deserve a group of people who are loving, supportive, and loyal around you. I hope you find one soon. In the meantime, we are here for you anytime. Story 2. My 32 girlfriend, 31F, told me that my best friend, 30F, deserved to be cheated on. I'm feeling conflicted and wondering if I did something wrong. My girlfriend, who I'll refer to as Sarah, said something that upset me and wants me to apologize, but she doesn't regret what she said. We've been together for 4 years, and Sarah is wonderful, but she made a hurtful comment about my best friend, who I'll call Jessica. Jessica and I have been friends since middle school, and we've been through a lot together, including addiction issues. I've been sober for a while, but Jessica still drinks. Jessica is married to a man she cheated on her 7-year boyfriend with. She was pregnant with his child at the time, and they now have a 7-year-old together. Jessica has 4 children with 3 different men, including her husband. She gets child support for 2 of them, and one of her children was given up for adoption when she was 16. I know that her past is not perfect, but she is still my friend. Sarah works with Jessica's husband, who introduced her to me. According to her ex, Jessica cheated on him multiple times in the past, and he gave her another chance. However, she cheated on him again with her current husband. According to Jessica, her ex cheated on her first, and she cheated in revenge, but fell in love with the other man. All of this bothers Sarah, but it's not her life. Recently, Jessica's drinking has gotten out of control. She's been going out more often with her friends to drink while her husband stays home with their child. Her husband has been sober for a while and has been trying to encourage her to do the same, but she continues to drink. He's expressed concerns that she might be cheating on him. A few days ago, Jessica called me in hysterics asking to talk to Sarah because her phone was dead. She told us that her husband had cheated on her, and she found evidence of a transaction to a hotel on their shared card. She went to the hotel and saw him leaving with another woman, so she punched her and left. She was sobbing and shouting through the phone. Sarah listened to the conversation, but she didn't feel sorry for Jessica. She believed that Jessica deserved to be cheated on because she had cheated on every boyfriend she'd ever had, and she had bragged about how many men she had. Jessica started drinking even heavier and has been sleeping on our couch while Jessica's husband has been calling, texting, emailing her to come back home every day. Sarah and I talked about the situation, and she said, honestly, I don't really feel sorry for her. Now he knows what it's like to be cheated on. I became upset and told her that no one deserves to be cheated on, and her reasoning was spiteful. I understand that Jessica's past isn't perfect, but I still care about her as a friend. Sarah has been upset with me ever since, and I found out that she told Jessica what she said. This morning, Jessica looked at me, then looked at the floor in shame. I felt like it was because of Sarah's comment. Should Sarah apologize to me and Jessica for what she said? Story 3. My 22 girlfriend, F31 of 3 years, won't stop using dating apps. I think it's time for me to leave. Since we've been together, my girlfriend has been using dating apps on and off. I've told her several times that it bothers me, but she always justifies it as an ego boost. We had a big argument about it a few months ago, and I thought that was the end of it. However, I was mistaken. It's worth mentioning that her ex before me broke up with her for the same reason, so I feel foolish for believing she would change. Today, I discovered that my girlfriend had been using my phone and her email was logged in. I saw an email from an app called Hinge, which describes itself as the app designed to be deleted. My stomach sank. When I logged in with her phone number, I saw that she had used pictures of us together as her profile pictures. Her description read, "We'll get along if you like Chinese food, have a dog, are silly and tend to overshare." She also stated that she only wanted to match with people who were Hindu or Muslim, while I am white and British. Yesterday, I sensed that something was off, but I didn't know what. She was acting differently, which made me anxious. When I confronted her, she dismissed my concerns, suggesting that it was just my hormones. What hurts the most is her reaction to my distress. She acted concerned when she heard me crying, but when she saw me with her phone, she took it and went back to bed without addressing the issue. The only interaction we've had since then was when she asked me to open the bathroom door for her, not because she cared about how I felt, but because she needed to use the restroom. I'm hurt that she's using dating apps, but what shocks me the most is her complete lack of remorse or acknowledgement of my feelings. I'm angry, but I don't know what to do with my emotions. I'm too embarrassed to talk to my family or friends about this, and I can't talk to her because she refuses to acknowledge that anything is wrong. I'm torn between leaving or trying to talk to her. I've taken screenshots of everything, and while I initially thought about sending them to her family, I decided against it. If I leave, there are no consequences for her, and she gets to continue dating without any guilt. It's unfair that I'm the one who's heartbroken while she gets to enjoy her freedom. I know that most people will tell me to leave, and I can't say I disagree, but how do I deal with the need for closure and revenge? Edit. Update. So within the hour after I initially wrote this post, I got myself and my stuff together, packed it in my car, and left. It was a daunting task as there was a lot of stuff to move, and I was feeling really emotional, but I managed to do it in the end. Throughout the whole time, she was just lying in bed pretending to sleep, which frustrated me more than anything. I felt like she didn't care at all. We had been living together for 2 years, but thankfully, I had made the decision to rent my own apartment back in September. I knew then that things were not going well between us, and I am so grateful that I made that choice, because now I have a place to stay. As I sat in my car in the driveway, ready to leave, I received a text from her saying, "I'm not going to insult you by asking you to stay or to come back, but could you please leave the keys to the house?" I had already left the keys to the house. But that last message hurt me so much. There was no apology or goodbye, just leave the keys. I suppose that's the end of our relationship. Right now, I'm sitting in bed surrounded by bags of my stuff, reading through the comments on my post for the past couple of hours. Thank you for all the support. Even the harsh comments were appreciated as they were a wake-up call that I needed to sort my life out. I am sad that our relationship has come to an end in such a messy way, and I'm angry that it happened like this. But to be honest, I'm also relieved. I can finally do what I want and work on my self-esteem issues. Tomorrow, I'm driving down to see my dad and the rest of my family. I haven't seen them since Christmas, and I'm really looking forward to it. Although the anger is still there, I'm determined to move on and not waste any more energy on it. Do you have any advice on how to start my new life as a single person or how to get her out of my head? Story 4. Unwanted Throuple. Hope this is allowed here, and also hope it's enjoyed because it's a tell her sorry. So, this isn't my petty revenge story. The best I've ever managed is going on to my ex-boyfriend's Netflix account after he cheated on me and messing up algorithms suggested movies by liking a bunch of crappy rom-coms. However, I have a petty revenge story that my friend did that has always made me cackle in delight because it's the most insanely crazy and extreme level of revenge I've ever witnessed in real life. So, my friend's grandfather died. She was very close with him and he left her PEP's $25,000. She and her boyfriend decided to buy a house together with it because they'd been together 3 years at that point and had a 1-year-old daughter. My friend and her boyfriend apparently talked about it, and because he couldn't afford to save anything for a deposit, he agreed that she pay the $25,000 deposit and then they'd get a joint mortgage for the remainder, and he would pay the first 2 years of mortgage repayments to make their contribution equal. So, fast forward 18 months, her daughter asks where daddy's friend is, and my friend finds out the BF had been having an affair for about a year and bringing the other woman to their house while my friend worked. She's a nurse, so does shifts, including nights, whilst their daughter was home. It is evident that my friend was deeply hurt and frustrated by his partner's infidelity and the fact that she brought the other man into their shared home. Looking back on the situation now, he acknowledges that he should have ended things with her then and there, but instead, he chose to leave with their son to stay with his father. After a few weeks of processing his emotions, he came to the realization that he wanted his investment back, which was the 25x deposit he had made on their shared home. His partner had never contributed to the deposit and had only made a few mortgage payments before they started splitting bills equally. My friend considered his partner to be a leech and a loser for not contributing equally to their shared financial responsibility. When he informed his partner that they needed to sell the house, she revealed that she had already moved in her new boyfriend, the man she had cheated on him with. She refused to move out, and the only option available was for my friend to buy her out of her half of the house. His partner also made legal threats, claiming that he had no grounds to demand a bigger share of the house sale, even though he had made a much larger deposit, because it wasn't documented. She said that she was entitled to an equal share of the sale. In response to her threats, my friend remained calm and collected. He recognized the legal implications of the situation, but he also knew that he had made the larger investment in the house. He refused to accept her ultimatum and continued to work towards a resolution that would give him a fair return on his investment. Despite the betrayal and the difficulties he faced, he refused to let his partner take advantage of him or his investment. My friend's response? He waited for his next midweek day off work, waited for the time when he knew his scummy ex-girlfriend and her new boyfriend would leave for work, and got his family in a van to move a bed, wardrobe, etc. into the second bedroom of the house, which had been just his son's room at the time. He said when her and her boyfriend walked in that evening to find him and their son sitting on the sofa, watching TV, they looked like their brains exploded. How he managed to live in that house for a month with his ex and her lover and not blow up is beyond me. He even said he actually enjoyed keeping his calm and acting as if they weren't there while they just got more and more uncomfortable and awkward living there till they eventually did give in and leave. He is forever a legend in my eyes. The absolute ultimate petty revenge is moving back into your family home, where your scumbag ex has moved his new girlfriend and thinking she's won. Looking back, he could have kicked her out right then and there, but instead, he chose to bide his time and get his revenge in the most satisfying way possible. He waited until they were out of the house and then took back his rightful place in the family home. It must have been quite the sight to see his ex and her new lover's faces when they walked in and found him and their son sitting on the sofa, casually watching TV as if nothing had happened. It takes a special kind of person to be able to live with their ex and their lover for a month without losing their cool. But he managed to do it. He even found a sense of enjoyment in making them feel uncomfortable and awkward in their own home. And in the end, his patience paid off as they eventually gave in and left. To me, he will always be a legend for his ultimate petty revenge. It's not often that you get to show your ex who's boss in such a satisfying way, but by reclaiming his family home and making his ex and her lover feel unwelcome, he did just that. Redditor's reactions. Redditor 1. The other man must have been a real piece of work to actually stick around once she realized what the situation was. He sounds super gross. Redditor follow-up, especially with her kid there. It takes a certain type of person to participate in infidelity when there are kids involved. They're not only knowingly helping to mess up a child's life, but also it means they're attracted to someone who would hurt and neglect their own children. Fastest way to make my penis shrink is to show that you're a selfish, neglectful parent. Redditor 2. That is petty to such a level that it is evil. His house, His name on the title, Can't Be Kicked Out, Not Trespassing with Nerves of Steel. I would not have been able to manage it. Op answer, this exactly. All of us say to him all the time that absolutely none of us would have the strength or restraint enough to willingly share space with two people you hate who just really treated you so badly and not either break down or snap and hurt one of them. Luckily, after a month of them staying at hotels once or twice a week to avoid the house, the cheating rats got the message and did move on. Redditor 3. This is one of the best ones I've read. Hats off to your friend's dedication. Redditor 4. He wins. Op answer, yep. We literally always bring it up like he's a folk legend to everyone we meet in TBH. I've been his friend for well over a decade now, but I still can't quite believe he did it, Umfayo. On one occasion, the boyfriend apparently was trying to brag or rub it in by cooing at the cheating Duchi bag about watching a film together and having a takeaway for date night. And my friend said he was feeding their son in the kitchen, which was well within hearing distance of the living room, and the guy was smirking at him and stuff. My friend waited until he heard them start whatever they were going to watch, and he went and sat himself in the armchair to scroll on his phone and watch the film, Elm Fayette. The other man apparently threw a fit, and one of his rants at him to get out of the house started, but the ex took him outside, and they didn't come back that night. He honestly is my hero. He's so damn dry with his humor too. I can legit imagine his expression as he did it.